Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Monday, March 22nd, 2021. Shown here is a precipitation for the past 14 days with the observed amounts on the left and the percent of normal on the right. We've had a fair amount of precipitation come in mainly across the southern Great Basin, eastern Nevada into Utah over the past couple of weeks, and has really helped to bolster our snowpack in some of these areas. Idaho, especially northern and western Idaho, has been on the dry side for the past few weeks. If we take a look at the past 72 hours snowfall, we did have a little system move through late in the weekend for some snow over Idaho, up into Wyoming, eastern Nevada, and the higher elevations of Utah. The image on the right showing here the snow water equivalent percent of average. And we can see, I just want to take a look at Utah first. These values, the white is 100% of normal. So we actually do have some areas right around normal and even above normal up in the Uintas. And our southern Utah mountains are also sneaking into that above normal range right now for the time of year, which is really great to see for mid to late March. These late storms are really helping to keep the limited snowpack that we have up on the mountains. That's going to help us out, even if it's just a little bit. It'll help us. For Idaho, however, those values have begun to dip down with this kind of a dry pattern up there for the past couple of weeks. So we'll want to see those numbers try and come up with a few storms moving in this week. So we look at the satellite imagery this morning. We do have a pretty active weather pattern setting up for this week. We have this low coming in today into tomorrow. It'll continue to sweep further south and east through the Great Basin through tomorrow. And then Wednesday will be kind of a dry day, and then we'll get another trough moving through Thursday into Friday. So for today, looking at that moisture moving through, this is by 6 p.m. tonight, we will start to see so the precip is going to be moving through northern and western areas throughout the day today, clearing by later this evening. And then for Monday, or for Utah, those storm systems will be just coming in late Monday and continue through Tuesday. Ventilation rates are pretty good area-wide today. Do have some increased wind speeds over Nevada and some downslope off of the Wasatch Mountains here. Mixing heights are pretty high also over much of Nevada and Utah. And then again by Tuesday, some of that moisture will continue to move across mainly eastern portions of the area through Tuesday. Ventilation rates remain pretty high. On Tuesday, however, we do get really strong northerly winds back behind that front, mainly over Nevada and western Utah. Very, very gusty winds across southern Nevada. Mixing heights are also pretty high behind that low. Wednesday will start out on the drier side, but later in the day and towards the evening, moisture will begin to move further southward into the basin associated with this low to the north. Ventilation rates will be pretty favorable area-wide, except maybe a little bit lower there over western Nevada. Transport winds on Wednesday will be strongest over the far southern Great Basin, and that's where the mixing heights will also be the highest. Clearing index for the next 3 days is shown here with not so great values today over much of western and northern Utah, a little bit higher over the south. Tomorrow looks like a pretty good day, especially as we see those winds really pick up over western Utah. High mixed clearing index pretty much everywhere in Utah on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, those values decrease once again with a little bit of ridging building in, but staying favorable across the south. Precipitation totals for the 3-day through 12Z on Thursday are shown here. Pretty good chance for everywhere across the Great Basin to see some precipitation and some higher values across the higher elevations, certainly as we see this first wave of storms move through today into tomorrow. On Thursday, that low really dips further south, and we can see the precipitation increasing with our next storm, mainly over the eastern half of the Great Basin. The western half is going to stay on the drier side with this one. And then that system exits off to the east by Friday, and we'll see some warming and drying begin to move back into the Great Basin. The ventilation rates are mixed across the area. On Saturday, the ridge that's off the California coast will really begin to strengthen and build into the Great Basin, and that will continue into Sunday, bringing us back up to seasonal or warmer than average temperatures by Sunday. The bulk of the work week this week, our temperatures will be below normal with highs in the upper 40s to near 50 as we see those storms track through the area. The precipitation for days 4 and 5, this includes Thursday through Saturday, really just highlighting that Thursday to Friday storm that's going to bring precipitation mainly to the northern and eastern half of the geographic area. The extended forecast for the end of March and into the first part of April is calling for a drier, warmer and drier signal across the Great Basin, particularly warm across the south and west, and dry across the west as well. This concludes today's smoke dispersion briefing. Please check back on Wednesday for the latest updates.